YouTube videos, for the most part, I have put up or linked to are less than 10 minutes. But you are expected to use this as part of your tools to excel in this course. Keep in mind that repetition enhances recall. Also, further, I would sit down in the week or the day before the week starts and schedule. Know what are the deadline dates for assignments and exams. Consider how you're going to practice and review quizzes, self-tests, lab notes, and chapter notes. By the way, a great review tool is in your Mastering A&P. If you take a look over here, there's a section called Study Area, My A&P. Now I'm going to do this with the lecture first. When you click on this, another window is going to actually open up. And what this window will do will give you a lot of information. And you see up here where it says Chapter 1, Human Body Orientation, that's going to give you a variety of material that you're going to see on this left-handed menu. Chapter Guide, Chapter Quizzes, Chapter Practice Test. What you should be doing after you've gone through the Chapter 1 reading is take these exercises and go over them. Also, there's a good prep tool. If you're really kind of shaky and it's been a while since you had any biology, maybe it's been a few years, maybe it's been longer, maybe you really weren't really good at biology in high school, no problem. You should exercise, get ready for A&P website, and do some of that. Study skills, math skills, body basics, and terminology are very helpful, as well as chemistry, which you're going to explore in Chapter 2, and cell biology, which is going to show up in Chapter 3. These are tools that will help you to review. And then on top of that, there's a couple of other really neat tools. What do I mean by that? There's a section called PAL, and in this case now it's 3.1. But basically, you can use their brand new flashcards, or you can look at PAL 3.1 and look at microscopic slides, pictures of the anatomy and the physiology of the individual. You can look at this from histology. In other words, you're going to need this tool particularly for Chapter 4 for histology. Look at slides and images of actual epithelial tissue. And notice how these signs and these markers were popping up. This will tell you what these tissues are by putting the pointer over them. They will even tell you the pronunciation, etc. So I strongly encourage you to get hooked up with Mastering A&P because it's going to give you a window to really get into your tools and to really review the material and excel at it. Okay, excuse me. Now, review the weekly modules prior to the start of the week, as I said. Print out all the necessary documents, lecture notes, lab handouts, graphic organizers, etc. Review your lab book exercise review sheets. Now, in the lab book, they don't use the phrase chapter. They use the phrase exercise. So exercise 1, exercise 2, exercise 3. And as you read through the content in exercise 1, you come to the end and they're more like black and white images and some printing that's all black and white. And these are review sheets. They will help you, as you fill them out, to review what you just learned in that exercise. By the way, if you say, well, that's great, but what if I don't know the content very well? What if I'm not really good at it? Well, that's okay, because if you take a look down here, in the printout, we have the review answer sheets for exercises 1, 2, and 8. In other words, I encourage all my students to basically do the reviews, do the exercise reviews, fill them out as much as you can, and if you come to a couple of places, leave it blank. Print out then the answer sheets and look them over and compare what you know and what you don't know. You're not to hand those in. Those are not exercises, but they will help you. Furthermore, when we have what we call open lab hours during the semester, I will notify you folks. And open labs allow you to go in, look at the models, look at the microscope slides, etc., to get used to some of these things that you've learned online. Okay? Next, as part of the scaffolding approach to learning, all students must review each week's readings and assignment, but first view all the YouTube videos to help you comprehend what the lecture and the lab content is for. As I said before, this is going to help you a lot, as well as the study area. Now, if you still come to a problem don't wait till week 14. If it's week 2, week 3, and you're going, I'm really having a difficult time, Professor, no problem. We have tutors. All you need to do is send an email over to the CSS or notify me. I will probably be posting soon, after the start of the semester, the contact information for the A&P tutors that will be available. You will contact them and set up appointments. You may be able to meet with them in either a lab or in the library, but you're always welcome to take advantage of that. That doesn't cost you anything, and we've got these tutors there to help students to excel in this course. Students are expected to be able to have a working knowledge of computer and the internet, including accessing the e-learning site, accessing and registering and using the Mastering A&P site, performing the online quizzes or assignments on the Mastering A&P, checking their grades weekly in the Learning My Grade site, that's really the grade book, and checking their email. Using e-learning to post questions and confirmation of the course assignments, monitoring deadlines, and for weekly class assignments. That's another one of your obligations. Keep in mind that you got to stay on top of the assignments. Now, many of the assignments that are on Mastering A&P are going to be just basic quiz questions that may be true, false, matching, multiple choice, art labeling. There may be some others that include images that are from PAL, the Practice Anatomy Lab, such as models or artwork and identification of what is this tissue, what is this organ, etc. So these tools are there to help you to get prepped and give you feedback of whether you really know what you're supposed to know. Any assignments that you do in Mastering A&P, basically they'll have a date and time stamp. There are going to be a few assignments you're going to have to upload. In uploading these assignments, you'll have to do them in Microsoft Word only. If you have a Mac computer and you have Microsoft Word, you have to save it in RTF, that's rich text format. There's an announcement for that. If you're using a regular computer, a PC, and you have Microsoft, you can use the document DOC or DOCX. Either of those will be fine. And let me just explain to some of the students that may not have a computer at home or have difficulties, you're always welcome to use the library resources freely as long as you are a student here, okay? No late work is accepted. As I've said, no late work is accepted, no extra credit work will be accepted, no rounding up of final grades. Excuse me. 100% of the work has to be completed. Now, the one-time attempt only doesn't exist anymore. Notice I just deleted it. Here's the main point. With Mastering A&P, you have to get the 80% grade or better. You can take it as many times as possible. I've removed that setting. Also, after the due date, after those assignments are done and gone, you can come back and retake those Mastering A&P assignments that are quizzes as a study practice for the upcoming exam. Well, this is about everything we have right now. I look forward to meeting all of you on the Monday. Make sure you're clear with the time. We will start promptly, and I will have you have a sign-in attendance sheet. No problem there. I expect that everyone bring their books, their access cards, and printed up the syllabi. Okay? Now, if you have any problems with the course or content during the semester, you can contact me. My email is on the syllabi. I hesitate to say phone number because a lot of students will try to call me and they don't understand I'm only there a couple days of the week. No problem. Send me an email because I'll probably be able to get back to you much quicker than a phone call. Okay? If you need to, we'll set up an appointment or we can set up a chat time on the computer, which is possible. Or as I said, you can also just quickly send me an email. I'll try to answer it as best I can. Also, if you have further problems, contact the Center for Student Success. They can provide you tutorial help in issues like time management or test anxiety or study skills. You can also set up appointments with an A&P tutor. And as soon as I find out what are the open lab times for this particular semester, I will post them or I will send you out an email, and you want to keep that because open lab times are great. You just have to bring in your college ID, you sign in, and you can look over the models, you can look over the microscope slides or the dissected tissue or wherever else is available at the time to help you in understanding your labs. Have a great day.